wise old man once told me that a man needs two of everything. And I'd argue that's the case with certain things, but not everything. But why do I even bring this up? Well, if you've been watching this channel some, I'm relatively new to bowl lathering. I've been wet shaving for like 6 or 7 years, but I've only started bowl lathering probably in the last 8 months or so, and I really enjoy it. And if you've watched some of my recent videos, I've been using the timeless bowl, and I like it so much, I got it in black. Why black? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, you need two of everything, right? I really do love this bowl a lot. I would say the only bowl, a close second, basically, is the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Travel Scuttle. I just wish the bottom was a little bit bigger. That's what most people say. But between these three bowls, basically, I feel like I'm pretty much set for life. It is this, I'll pick up the black one since I'm using the black one for today. It's my first time using it. I did just get a recent order from Maggard's Razors. That's the first time I've ever placed an order with them. Very fast shipping, and got lots of cool stuff. I got not only this bowl, but lots of different shave soap samples. And the one I'm using for today is Barrister and Mann, and this is the Full Measure of Mann. This is my first time ever using Barrister and Mann products, so I'm very excited to use that. And this is a relatively new release from them. I've only seen a couple of videos. Yeah, it's kind of a tobacco, vanilla. I get a little bit of a musk scent, but yeah, definitely the first two things that hit me is a very warm tobacco and also kind of a vanilla, a sweet vanilla scent. So I'm very excited to try that. The Full Measure of Mann. I've watched a couple of videos where people have reviewed that. And then I guess since I'm still talking software, I'm going to pair that with some Barrister and Mann Bay Rum Aftershave. This was sent to me, kind of like my last couple of videos, from Todd over at Take Care Man. He sent me a ton of stuff, some great stuff. But yeah, I think it's Bay Rum, but it's Barrister and Mann. So I will pair that with this soap that I'm using. The label's a little bit worn, but you still get the idea of that aftershave. And I'm really excited because in the coming videos, you're going to see a whole lot of those samples, and I'll be lathering them in my various bowls. As far as brush, I'm going to use my Omega Red S-Brush Synthetic. And as far as razor, I'm busting this out. I haven't used this in a while. It's my Razorock BBS aluminum razor in the electric blue. Very fancy razor. Get great shaves with this razor. Just haven't done a video with that razor in a while. And then finally, I'm going to be pairing that with a rainbow blade. I kind of used this on a whim. Wasn't expecting the best results, but I actually get really good shaves with this rainbow blade. I believe it's made by Lord out of Egypt, and yeah, just a very good blade to pair with any of my razors. So we'll switch now over to the bowl lathering. You can see me lather up the soap, and then we'll get on with the shave. Okay, I've got the soap down there in the bowl. I always put a little bit of water on it. It's kind of like blooming the soap if I were to be loading directly from the puck, and I find that it just kind of helps to soften the soap up and then basically helps to build a lather. So let's get to it. First time using my black timeless bowl. I've used this brush many times. You've heard me mention it before. It's like $10, but I love this brush. And I didn't like it when I first got it. I wasn't getting like the best results until I started bowl lathering. The smell is great with this soap. Very dark. Very much reminds me of dark mahogany and leather-bound books. Very sophisticated. And of course, this took no time at all to get lathered up in the bowl. think this bowl is a exclusive to Maggard's. I bought the blue one on Amazon, but if you go to Timeless's website, the only other one listed is a gray bowl. I think we're going to go with that. I think we're good. I might add a little bit more water once I get it on my face. But I like what I see here. All right, see you back up top. Okay, so I've already washed my face with that Neutrogena soap, and I should be good to go here. I've got a couple of days growth. I didn't shave yesterday because if you remember in my last video, I mentioned that I was going ice fishing. Had a blast doing that. Me and my buddy Corey, we went up to kind of northern central Wisconsin. Caught a couple of decent little perch here, but we also caught a fairly large northern pike, about 14 inches or so. And not only did we do some fishing, we had a little other fun as well. Yeah, that snowmobile was a beast. The video doesn't do it justice. A few minutes later, I got a little bit more courage and got it up to a little bit faster speed, but still a lot of fun there. I know in Canada they call snowmobiles snow machines. At least one of the wet shavers that I follow that's Canadian, Justin, the Red Island shaver, maybe he can affirm that you guys call, or as I would say, y'all, y'all call a snowmobile a snow machine. But yeah, had a lot of fun yesterday doing that. And the weather was actually really nice. I mean, temperatures have been kind of in the upper 30s and low 40s, which is very warm for us here in Wisconsin. But now we're into March. And so, you know, we start to see those temperatures warming up a bit. It's always a nice change from the long, dark winter to see things starting to improve once you head into March. You know, I mentioned in my last video all of the cold weather that they had in Texas and how it affected my parents and everything. Now temperatures are like in the 80s. Who knows, man? They're having above temperatures now after that extremely cold snap. So Mother Nature really keeping us on our toes. Of course, this lather's great. Like I said, I wanted to try it not just for the scent, but also just to see how Barrister and Mann performs. And not that Parasso and Arco and all of those other Cella, kind of more like mainstream soaps, don't do well. But these artisan soaps, they really have dialed it in as far as scents and also performance. I am going to add just a little bit of water here. Vanilla, tobacco. I feel like I'm even getting a bit of like almost like a raisin scent. Does that make sense? I wanted to try these samples because, you know, I might end up buying a full size of one of these. I believe I got a total of 7 samples, so you're going to see a lot of those over my next videos. Hoon Shaver in South Korea, he's a big fan of samples, and I think he gets all his from Maggard's as well. I've got some A&E, some Declaration Grooming. You'll just have to see everything I've got coming up. Okay, that looks good. How's everything else been going for everybody? It's nice when it warms up. You can get outside again. Again, living in the South, I've played golf on Christmas Day. But now that I live up north, a slight warm up in temperatures means a lot. And we don't have a ton of snow on the ground, only about 6 inches or so. Now granted, we've had probably 30 inches, but it kind of melts away. As far as what's actually sitting on the ground is only like 6 inches. I looked at my Facebook memory the other day and I grilled out and we had like 3 feet of snow standing on the ground. It was awful. And just because it's March doesn't mean we're out of the woods as far as winter weather. The biggest snow that I've seen since moving here was 14 inches in about 36 hours in the middle of April. So, but I remember it was also 80 degrees once on April the 1st. Everyone thought it was an April Fool's joke. Different year. The wife and I are still house hunting. We looked at a couple different houses. Still haven't made an offer on a house. We look at it as we're going to be in this place for 10 years, possibly 15 maybe. And I know no place is perfect, but we want it near perfect. I mean, just until the last couple of days, snow is starting to melt off of roofs. Not a lot of houses on the market, and the ones that are, you can't even see the roof and see if the roof is in good shape or not. So that's an advantage of kind of waiting. It warms up, you can see the yard. And you can see, is this truly where we see ourselves for the next 5, 10, or even 15 years? Or forever. Moving sucks. God, I hate moving. My college years, my bachelor years, like, dude, I moved like probably every 2 years, honestly. Even every year. I think there were times I moved like every year. Lugging a television up and down stairs. I never had like a fish tank or anything, but television, lazy boys, couches. Now we have a washer and dryer. Stuff I didn't have as a bachelor. I was more nomadic as a bachelor. I've been married almost 5 years, 4.5 years. And together, though, 6 years. And we've only moved once. And like I said, bachelor me was on the move every year. You have to call your friends. I have a truck, so everybody calls me. All that I ask is some beer and some pizza. Don't have to pay me or anything super fancy. A couple slices and a couple of brews. And maybe an ice pack for my back the next day. Do across the grain now. I see that Phoenix Shaving is re-releasing its ramen soup. Shave soap and aftershave. I can't at all see myself buying a full tub of that, but I would be willing to try a sample. That sounds very interesting to me. Now that the winter is coming to an end, this is the first winter in a while that I didn't grow my beard out completely full. Part of it was so I could still shave and make these videos, but also wearing a mask with a full beard is kind of uncomfortable, so... Or at least the dudes I see at the grocery store and whatnot with their mask kind of stuck on their beard, it looks uncomfortable. I know that in the past, my beard has kept my face warmer during the winter months, but you just wear a mask, and that keeps your face relatively warm. That video of us on the ice on that snowmobile. We did also have a truck out on the ice. When it's thick enough, when it's at least like 6 or 8 or even 10 inches, you can drive out on it. I wouldn't drive my truck on it, but we had a vehicle out there. Gosh, a couple of years ago, my wife's cousin, his wife is actually our babysitter. He put a truck in the ice. It went through. He was over in eastern Wisconsin, over by Green Bay. And they drove on some thin ice, and it went in. He's not the best swimmer. I've heard he has a boat, and I've heard he has been reluctant to take that boat out. Since then, we all gave him a really hard time. Fortunately, everybody got out safe, so we are able to give him a hard time. But I can only imagine how scary that was. Okay. Yeah, good shave. Good shave with this Timeless bowl. Tons of extra soap here. I only do 2 passes, typically. I've come up short before. I've done shaves. And there's not enough, and that's the worst. I'd rather have a little too much. Some soap left over than to be scraping the bottom of the bowl, if you will. Okay, we'll finish this off with that Barrister and Mann Aftershave. Again, kind of comes in this little squirt bottle that Todd sent me, little sample bottle. So I will squirt some in my hand. Very, very clove. I smell the cloves. But no burn, no irritation. I like that. Yeah, not bad at all. Do one more shot. Awesome. Thanks so much, folks. Stay warm if it's still cold where you're at. Otherwise, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.